Next up at UFC Vegas 41, we have Jun Yong Park versus Gregory Rodrigues. Jun Yong Park 4-1 in his last 5. Gregory Rodrigues 4-1 in his last 5 as well. Jun Yong Park has a very nice jab, really good cage control, solid setups for takedowns. He's good absolutely everywhere, and that's what makes this fight interesting, because if you look at the stats, Park averages 3 takedowns per fight, which is very high. He also has a solid striking differential of landing 4.3 for every 3.2 he gets hit with. So he is on the positive side of the striking exchanges and has a ton of takedowns per fight. Gregory Rodrigues, he lost on Contender Series. Then he put together a few wins, came back to the UFC as a solid underdog against Dusko Todorovic, and he pulled off that upset. He's a well-rounded guy with good, clean striking. He has power and a BJJ black belt. And even though he has a BJJ black belt and is more than capable on the ground, he has a really good takedown defense to keep it on his feet where he can just bomb away. That's interesting with Jun Yong Park averaging 3 takedowns per fight and Gregory Rodrigues having solid takedowns. A little bit of a style clash there. Gregory Rodrigues is a big guy. He's got power. He's got strength. And he's a threat everywhere as well. If I'm coaching against him, so if I'm Jun Yong Park's coach, I'm telling him to stick and move, keep the fight fast, because Gregory Rodrigues is slower. He's not a fast guy. He's even lumbering at times. So a touch-and-go strategy may be the way to play this. If he does have an issue, it's his chin. And I'm not going to say he has a bad chin, but it's definitely a little bit suspect. And I think the odds are correct here. So this line opened with Park as a decent favorite. Then the money came in, moved this to a pick'em, but I actually agree sort of closer to the opening line. So I know Rodrigues is dangerous. His power, he has power. He's incredibly tough. But I think Park, not Parker. Just thinking of my buddy Parker Porter. We just broke down a fight last week, and I said he'd be a phenomenal matchup. So I think Jun Yong Park is just a little bit better everywhere. I think he has more technique on his feet. I think he has better takedowns. I think he has better positioning on the ground when they get there. And the only real question here is, how good is Rodrigues' takedown defense? He's listed at 100%, but you know that's it's basically in one fight. He defended 4 Todorovic takedowns, which is solid, but you know he's listed at 100% takedown defense. So we don't really have a full book of business to compare that to. You know, what does that 100% actually look like? I think Park is probably the superior wrestler. He's got better hands, and in MMA, it's the hands that set up the takedowns. I'm gonna take Park here. I totally understand the live movement. I totally understand why the line moved and Park is just now a small favorite instead of a massive favorite. I get it, but I do like Park in this fight. Like I said, I think he's a little bit better everywhere. If it stays on its feet, he's the better striker, and I think he can get it to the ground. And if he can get it to the ground, he should be able to work from there, have solid positioning. Rodrigues, a BJJ black belt, but Park's positioning on top will prevent anything from happening there. So pick your side. You know, I gave you my side, but pick your side. Like I said, I totally understand why Gregory Rodrigues went from a big underdog or a medium-sized underdog and worked his way to an even bet. I get it. And if you got in on that line early and you got him at really good plus money, I might have taken that line as well, but I didn't. So pick your poison with DraftKings. They're basically the same price. And then the strike line, you know, Park is so high at 81, so that's what makes me a little nervous. I do think this is a good fight. This may be a less more type situation, but I don't know what I'm going to do with that line. I think I'm going to let the money come in, move the line, and then make a decision from there, because I just don't like – I'm good with the more on Gregory Rodrigues. I just don't like the 81 for Jun Yong Park. It's just such a tough line. It would have to be a pretty busy fight to get past it. It might be, which is the only concern, especially if he gets those takedowns. He'll be busy on top. So this may be a more and more play. I'm going to see what the money does to it. Hopefully we get a bunch of less plays. It comes down, and then I can hit the over. But either way, I like Park here. You can pick your side. I am not going to scream and yell or fight with anybody on this one, because this is a razor-thin one. I do side with Vegas here. I agree that Park should be the favorite, and obviously he is the favorite.